Hello, everyone. I was doing some editing, and what I discovered is that we died repeatedly in several episodes, mostly due to my own stupidity. Rather than show you all that failure, we're going to jump ahead to a run where things actually go our way for a while. So, there is a little bit of an awkward cut from the last episode, and I do think we die at the very beginning of this one. But after that, things get a lot more promising. So, I apologize for the jump. I just figure nobody wants to watch me fail repeatedly, so we're going to jump ahead to something where we survive for several episodes. So here we go. Hello Internet. Welcome back to more Cataclysm in the lab. I see we've immediately started in one that is well lit, which means we're going to die. The only thing we can really hope for is that the bot will shoot the enemy zombies and that we can run over and get the card before we are killed. Nope. Okay. Seems to have ignored zombie. Well, that's a terrible start. Oops. Let's get out of here. Let's do this again. Welcome back to more of the Cataclysm Lab Escape series. The last couple episodes have been really let's call them not good. They've been a little bit with me being frustrated. I don't know how dangerous this particular finale is. Well, I hear glass breaking. I would have thought, you know what? We actually might. Are there no turrets in this one? Well, that's great. We're just going to leave. Okay. So now we have the science ID card, which is part of our escape plan. We also turn safe mode back on. We also have a cooking of 6, which is what is required to read the book that allows us to make dynamite. I'm not sure we even have the ability to make the dynamite in this particular situation, but we're going to try. That's our current escape plan. And we're just under a regular old lab, which is good news. Yeah. Couple episodes have been not so good. Been a little frustrated. I know I mentioned in my previous series that I have been going through some personal problems. I haven't really talked about that because I'm conflicted with how much of my personal life I should share with my audience. On the one hand, I feel like I have nothing to hide. I'm a very open man who, I don't, when I was a teenager, I would lie to everyone. I would kind of pretend to be someone I'm not, and I don't do that anymore. I'm a very, very open, very honest man, and so I find myself wanting to talk about my problems, but at the same time, I feel like we never did secure a weapon. We don't have any weapon skills. How good is the butcher knife as a weapon? Not very. Why don't we retreat to... I really don't want to go back in where the zombies were, but we'll go back. Yeah, we'll go back. And we'll just try to be careful. Hopefully we don't get ourselves killed. Wield the butcher knife. Has a 2-bash. I don't know if that's even enough. Okay, it is. We'll grab the pipe and the hammering component to make a crowbar, and then we'll make a crowbar over here. So I just don't feel like, on the one hand, I have no problem talking about things, but on the other hand, I feel like people don't want to hear me talk about depression and PTSD and anxiety when, I think that particularly among my generation, I think that those are very common. PTSD is less common, but obviously it tends to, PTSD tends to appear in people, certain groups of people, right? Obviously, if you're in the military, you're more likely to have PTSD than if you've spent your life, being a stay-at-home mom. I'm not saying that you can't suffer as a stay-at-home mom or whatever. I'm just saying that the life experiences are very different between those two groups, and one group certainly trends more towards PTSD and suicide than the other. So I feel like although there are plenty of people who would relate to it, I just think that it probably isn't very entertaining to hear me talk about my struggles. So I fluctuate on whether or not I want to talk about these things, and whether or not I should talk about these things. It's less about whether I want to and more about whether I should. Bloody rags, I think, is what that is. I'm gonna try my best not to walk stupidly into a turret this playthrough, although no guarantees. The machete is very good. We will wield the machete. We're already low on storage space. We're gonna have to find ourselves. I can't see what this is. This is a broken cyborg. Probably not super dangerous. And close this. See what we've got down here. So yeah, I've had some personal problems. A few weeks ago, I saw my abuser, whom I had not seen in a very long time, and it really shook me. And I've noticed ever since then that I've been super irritable. I've been more and more feeling depressed, which I wasn't for a while. I actually had been having a pretty good go of things for over a year, I would say, without any real severe depression. My PTSD is a constant ambient pressure in my life, but it's not as bad as it used to be. And, seeing him and just being frustrated, it's like when I saw him, he was with his wife. Cable charger. Oops. He was with his wife, and he has children with this woman. And then I look at my own life, and I think, this was a man who savagely abused me when I was a child, and he gets to have a wife and children, and I'm alone to the point that it's almost painful sometimes. And so just been thinking about that a lot, and the idea that anytime I go out, he turns out he lives very close to here, and it's like anytime I leave my house now, I run the risk of bumping into him, and I just don't feel like I'm strong enough mentally to withstand seeing him, especially if that becomes a more regular occurrence. And so I've been struggling a little bit, and I can't seem to get him out of my head, and that makes me angry, and it makes me sad, and it brings up all these things from my childhood that destroyed me emotionally, and it's just a lot. It's a lot to process. And I've noticed almost stepped in a teleporter, in my playthroughs, that I'm just increasingly irritable, and when I'm irritable, I end up not making any commentary. I end up just complaining and narrating. Instead of telling an anecdote, I end up just going like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's not good content, Nobody wants to watch me just ramble about, I don't know. I've been frustrated and struggling a bit. And I thought I would share because I don't want you to think I'm a terrible YouTuber. I'm probably a terrible YouTuber, but I also don't want you to think that. So, no cargo pants. Really would like to find some cargo pants. Our storage is not great. Second lab coat helps out a lot, of course. Fungus junk. Some corpse. What is this corpse? Bruised fungal zombie corpse. I have fungal zombies turned off, so I'm a little agitated that apparently doesn't apply to labs. Anything even worth it up here? The leather apron might be valuable. I don't know what layer that goes on. Probably the outer layer, which would conflict with the lab coats. Okay. This zombie just stood there while I approached. I don't know. Military rucksack. Well, we definitely want this. So we picked up... Okay, let's just pick it up. We picked up some denatured alcohol, which can be turned into antiseptic, turned into, what's the word I'm looking for? Disinfectant. which we can just wear the rucksack, and then if we get hit, we can just disinfect the wound. It's not ideal because I think it's super, super likely to happen, even though I feel like it should be way less likely to happen. Take the cash card. I feel like it should be like a rare thing that you get hit on that particular area, and so it embeds in your skin. Especially when well, we're not going to talk about that. It'll just get into a lengthy conversation. Torso and legs, it is a strapped layer, so it would conflict with the rucksack. It has a liter storage of 2. So I would like the apron because it has good protection, but at the same time, it would conflict with our rucksack, and we're already going to be pretty encumbered. Let's see how bad we're encumbered with it on. 31 and 7. Let's take it off again. 26 and 2. Yeah, we're not going to wear it. We're not going to wear it. Maybe we should for protection reasons, but we're not going to. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So now we're wearing the rucksack. Why don't we drink this water? And we'll use that bottle as for the disinfectant. We'll make 2. Put down. Store in inventory. Pour into container. Now we have disinfectant for when we inevitably get our rucksack hit and it embeds in our skin. So, okay. What is this thing? Processor board. Okay. All kinds of stuff in here. I guess we'll take the sewing kit. I don't think we're going to be doing anything with it. Did we put on a dusk mask earlier? We did. Okay. Not super worried about fighting. We're not really built for fighting, but I think we're okay. Remington 870. 1 round. Well, without knowing exactly where the turret is, I don't think that that's going to do it for us. Heavy battery cell. We're probably not going to find anything that requires a heavy battery, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Same with the ceramic armor plate. Would be nice to have, but I don't think we're going to find anything to put it in. I guess we'll fight you. Lighter we'll take, and we'll take the cigarettes just in case we need a mood booster. I don't think we need anything else from that pile. Be nice to have a battery cell, but this only has 11 battery charge. Anything in the desks? Okay. I guess we'll check out the boxes back here. Screams of pain. Nah, we're good. I'm so immune to screams of pain at this point in my life. I mean, you know. Melting point apparatus. Basically a hot plate with a metal housing attached. Metal housing has a magnification viewport, and a slot into which a capillary tube containing a crystallized sample is inserted. The device lets you precisely measure the melting point of a crystal. I cannot think of how that would ever have a use for us in this particular scenario. Take the clean water, I guess. Having the rucksack is super nice. We can actually loot like we normally would. We're going to wear the hard hat, of course. Head encumbrance looks fine. Can even wear another hat underneath. That takes us to the finale. We don't want to go back there. We were hoping, again, our hopes and dreams are hinged on whether or not we can find a library and whether or not that library contains the books we're looking for. There's a crate. I don't know if there's a danger moving around the fungus. I never play with fungus enabled. I did when I first started playing, and then I realized that it's basically just one long hassle. Bionic fault. No, we're not going to mess with that. I feel like, I don't know if there are layers to how difficult they are, but if there are layers to how difficult any given door is to open, I think this is just it. I don't see anywhere else we can go. Unless we go back to the finale and there's another door here somewhere. But I don't think there is, because it would be like right here, and we would probably see half of it. Let's scroll down. Yeah, we would definitely see if there was a door there. So there's no door there. I don't see any other direction to go. I guess we go up. Alrighty. I don't really trust the main stairs after we got shot in the head going up the main stairs. I'm pretty sure that can happen no matter what stairs you go up, but... Okay. Looks like more mutagen storage. Do we still have a hacksaw? I don't think we'll need one, but... I mean, really, you should... If you have space, you should be picking up all the tools you find anyway. Clean water. I guess we'll take another bottle of clean water. Haven't found any of the residential areas yet, so we don't have access to any real food stores. Most of the mutagen we found isn't particularly exciting to me. Another dust mask. Maybe this wasn't mutagen. Maybe this was just random storage. And it just happened to have a vial of mutagen. Check all the furniture. It's just a shirt. We'll be moving on. Big old room makes me nervous. I don't know if there are turrets in rooms like this. Vending machine gives us a chance to get... Nope, literally no food items. But we'll pick up some stuff. Orange juice, I think, is good calories. Anything with super high calories? Not really. So we'll take the OJ because it goes bad very soon. Plastic bottles. I will take all the orange juice. I mean, I don't want to take everything. But we'll take the fruit juice, I think, because it's also pretty perishable. And I think that's all we're going to take because of our inventory constraints, but we will mark on the map vending machines in case we do have to survive here for a long period of time. PB and M. What does the M stand for? Peanut butter and maple syrup. That sounds gross. I don't like peanut butter very much. I know that that's an unpopular opinion. There's just something about like peanut butter on its own. I'm just not a fan of paste. I don't want to eat paste. You know, is that such an abnormal thing? You know, so many people love peanut butter. It's like, it's literally paste. You know, yeah, it's kind of sweet. Yeah, it's full of calories and protein, but it's also just kind of gross, in my opinion. Just don't like peanut butter. Even when it's cut with jelly, you know, that sweetness does a lot to cut through the earthiness of peanut butter. I just don't like it. Home radio, electronics. I don't know. It says for enthusiasts. I imagine we probably can't read this. Let's look at this. Electronics to 8, but requires electronics 4. Yeah, we're going to drop that. We'll look at this lab journal too while we're here. Cooking to 9 requires cooking 8, which we don't have. And it's mutagen, which is what I expected. But I thought I'd check it out just in case it could raise our cooking. Chemical stores. I don't know what chemicals are required for cooking dynamite. Compound delivery. That could very well raise our cooking. Requires cooking 8. Okay, also not helpful. And of course more mutagen. I'm not sure what is required to make dynamite, and I'm really kind of all-inning on the dynamite. Because I made the black powder, no, what was it called? The fertilizer bombs in a test playthrough. And I had made several of them. And when I threw them at the turrets on the main floor, 1, they did not damage the walls, which was the original reason I wanted them. And 2, they really didn't have an effect on the turret. I don't think, like, even on me, even when I dropped it at my feet, it barely damaged me at all. So I feel like I would need so many of them in order to destroy the turret. Aha, you're tricky. See, I thought this was just a cleared out barracks, and it's got a turret in there. I wish I could mark right here that there's a turret in there, because I guarantee I'll end up walking back into that room like an idiot. Oh, Mr. Cyborg. Tink, tink, tink. Please die. Are you... Oh, he is hitting us. I was going to say, are you just not attacking me out of courtesy? Okay, any minute. There we go. I don't know if you can get bionics from the broken cyborgs or if they're always bad bionics. Very nervous now that I saw a turret in a barracks. Okay. Cargo pants would be nice. Turret. Still no library. Zinc powder. I don't know really what we should be looking for outside of the library. Nothing in the fridge. So I think we want to be kind of at the exterior areas of the lab in order to find the library. I don't think that they're fixed on the inside anywhere. Prisoner containment. I don't think there's anything in there that could help us. There a turret in here? There was. I'm glad I didn't just blindly walk through. Literally just a naked cyborg. Can't go down. Oops. Let's look around a little bit. We can go left or up. Okay. Hearing a lot of noise over here. I'm guessing this is a barracks. Prisoner containment. Also not going to help. We might, if we end up not finding a library, we might check those out if we get desperate. You know, I think they can contain like the big moles that can dig. And maybe, you know, we could find our way out. There's Amigo. Briefcase. Too big. What does that mean? Oversized and does not fit you. So this is part of a problem I've been reading about, where a lot of the clothing that was supposed to be oversized is maybe oversized to the point where it's not wearable by the average player, which is not intended, I think, if I understand right. I don't think they can break out. Containment terminal. No. Why would we ever open those? There's no incentive to opening those. Let's check this out. MISC software. I don't know what that means. I also don't know how to use USB drives in the game. I'm sure they could be useful. A lot of electric zombies. No, just regular zombies. Self-preservation protocols activated. So cyborgs probably. Let's lead them back so we can fight them one at a time. Never know, they might have good stuff on them. I could use some shotgun shells. Would be nice. Because we could arguably figure out where the turret is in the darkness and shoot it. But we would need a fair bit. Oh man. That vest would be really, really nice. We're definitely going to take it with us. We're going to try to wash that as soon as we're able. Just to get that. So the reason I'm not going to wash the rucksack is because... Okay, stop. Yes. The reason I'm not going to wash the rucksack is because it requires such a large volume of water to do so. And we're not going to be able to find that in another Kevlar vest. We don't have the ability to repair these. So that one's pretty damaged. How damaged is the one we picked up? Not very. So that's actually really good because it had a low... Like if you look, everything else has very high amounts of damage to it. We're not going to wash the rucksack because of the quantity of water required to do so. We don't have access to. We would have to take multiple toilets worth of water and fill them into one container. But I'm betting the Kevlar vest is small enough that it should be washable in one toilet worth of water. So if we look, the volume is 6 liters. If we look at the rucksack of 4 liters, I do feel like it's based on liters. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we won't have enough space to wash it. but we would love to because the Kevlar vest provides excellent protection to our torso, and it's worn as an underlayer, so it wouldn't conflict with anything that we're currently wearing, except for our brassiere. Apparently we're a woman. I don't really remember. Angeline Bynum, I guess, is that how you would say that? I don't know what would conflict. We might have to lose a lab coat for it just to remove a little extra of that, encumbrance to even things out. What's the encumbrance look like on the Kevlar vest? And does it fit? I guess it fits. And encumbrance of 5, that's way better than I think it was in our other playthrough. It must have been because ours didn't fit. I really don't want to see another prisoner containment. I want to see some libraries. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to call the episode here. Pretty okay episode. We're doing pretty well, I think. We haven't been bitten. We haven't been infected. We secured the science ID card, which is half the battle. And we escaped the finale without being shot in the head repeatedly. So, for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. And I will be back with more in the near future. If you enjoyed the episode, maybe consider clicking that like button. Maybe consider subscribing. That's going to do it. See you next time.